Good morning, good morning, good morning, family. Welcome to my writer's life. This is Alicia Anabel Santos, the writing midwife. And today's episode is titled When Your Mind is a Mess, because I have been feeling awfully messy over the past few years. I've been very intentional about looking at how I'm spending my time, like really looking at what I'm doing, what I'm thinking about, how I'm processing, how I'm feeling. What I noticed is that I move from one idea to the next idea to the next idea, that I jump. I am ADD, and so that means. But I have learned techniques on how to manage that, how to manage when I have an idea that I'm very excited about, but I haven't finished the previous idea. I haven't finished the idea that I've been working on. And so I get very excited and filled with energy, and I want to just kind of abandon what I've been working on and just put it all in this. An example, I started working on a novel. It wasn't a novel in the beginning. It was a screenplay for a feature film that I submitted for a competition. It was a Meryl Streep competition. It was a playwriting not a screenwriting competition for writers over 40 years old. And so I was very excited about the competition, but also writing something new that I could contribute to that. And I did it. I absolutely put everything that I had into that screenplay, and I submitted it. It was not accepted. But then I started to look at what I had done in a short amount of time, what I had created, which was an actual film about a story that I am excited about. I decided that I wanted to take that idea and turn it into the novel, because a lot of my writing practice is centered on building craft. And so where I might have started off as a writer writing blogs, so I was writing blog posts. I from there went on to write essay. From there went on to write full-length articles. From there went on to write scripts for a documentary. From there I went on to write a memoir. And so with each project, with each writing goal, I was building stamina, momentum, experience, and completion. I was completing work, and that felt good. So I took this full-length film, this screenplay, and I decided that this was the novel that I was going to write. And I was very excited about that, taking this like treatment, this like film, this movie, and turning it in and really sitting with, slowing it down and looking at how to build the world of my characters, how to show their life, their experiences, their story. And I've been spending, I want to say, a good 4 years, 4 years writing the novel. And so what I know about myself is that when I'm all in, I'm all in. And so I'm very excited. And when I have the time, I'm all in. I'm committed. I sit with it. I get it done. But then all these other ideas come at you. Which brings me to say, when your mind is a mess. When your mind is a mess, you can't focus on any one thing because you want to do everything. And the truth is, we can't do everything at the same time. We can't do it well. We can try to do it, but a lot of things, a lot of balls up in the air. If we have 100 balls, we're not going to be able to juggle 100 balls. I would say a good 99 of them are going to fall. We might be lucky if we catch one. And so I'm paying attention to when my mind wanders. And listen, I'm not beating myself up for my mind being a mess. My brother just passed away. So it makes sense that my mind would be a mess because I'm holding all of this grief and all of this pain and this loss. And I'm trying to do the best that I can. And I think I'm succeeding. I believe that I'm succeeding. But I also am catching where my mind is a mess, where I was journaling and I wasn't even completing the words I was writing. So my mind is going so fast that I'm skipping words. So in my mind, I'm going, but on the page, I'm not even writing what it is that I'm thinking or feeling because that's how fast my mind is moving right now. And so I did a beautiful practice in my morning pages. Shout out to Julia Cameron from The Artist's Way. Morning pages it's a technique that Julia Cameron encourages us to practice, where we wake up every day and the first thing we do is write 3 pages from a stream of consciousness. We just write anything. It doesn't have to make sense. And some writers love it. Other writers hate it. I personally am in between because I always want to feel like I'm writing something that's, of value and meaningful. And sometimes my mind is not there. And sometimes it's just crap. So today I wrote my morning pages and I stayed with my morning pages, and I discovered that it takes me a good half hour to write morning pages because I'm honoring the fact that as I'm writing, an idea for something else comes up. So I pulled myself out of the morning pages, jotted it down on an index card next to me, came back to write my morning pages. But that's not the magic of what happened today. What happened today was in my morning pages, I was writing about I was giving myself a pep talk. I was giving myself a pep talk. I was giving myself a pep talk about not being in a rush, staying on the page, staying with it, staying with the idea, following it through to the end. It was all about having the idea, establishing the tasks that will get me to completion, and then doing the work that will ultimately get me to completion. But the end result is completion, right? And so I wrote out these things for myself, right? And then I turned them into affirmations. So for example, I wrote in my journal today, which in the morning pages, you're not supposed to really share what you write, but I'm going to share it because it's my podcast and I can do whatever I want. Today is about ordering my day, doing things in the same way, but allowing for adjustments, getting my head right, finishing my thoughts, reading what I write carefully, read it 3 times. Don't be in a rush. Pace yourself. Trust the process. Don't be careless. And seen. Then I took what I had just written and I turned it into affirmations for myself. I finish my thoughts. I read what I write carefully. I read it 3 times. I am not in a race. I am pacing myself. I do everything with care and ease. I trust the process. So I share that very personal love note to Alicia to say that as writers, we can be so hard on ourselves about what we're not doing. And I invite you to get out of your head, to get out of your way and reframe. Let's reframe our thoughts into something more loving, more gentle, more kind, more positive. And so, with that, let's do some writing prompts, family. Okay. What's on my mind today is you can pause this meditation at any moment and just free write and reflect on what is rising for you, right? What's on my mind today is how I can be more loving, how I can be more loving with myself, how I can be more loving with myself, how I will greet the page today, how I will greet the page today. I know you see me smiling because today is a good morning. And I wrote, how I will greet the page today is with love and excitement. And that is my intention for today. My intention for today is to greet the page with love and excitement. One last thing. Paulo Coelho, in an interview I heard, he was interviewed by Oprah in her Super Soul Sunday series, and he talked about how he comes to the page with this enthusiasm. And I just loved the word enthusiasm, that he came to the page with this just like, it felt like and sounded like this childlike awe. Like, oh my God, like discovering pans. You know how when you see a little baby get tons of gifts for Christmas, but they would rather bang on pots and pans because that's so exciting to them. They're so enthusiastic about the rhythm and the noise that nothing else matters. May we greet the page with that kind of enthusiasm and excitement. Peace.